Hello friends, she is here, the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, the brand new drop, and we're going to do a full review today. But what I'm going to really focus on in this review is comparing it to the I Need a Nude. So, obviously they're kind of supposed to be twins. This one has come out as a part 2 to the I Need a Nude palette. I want to really show you differences in the swatches and looks. But what I really want to challenge myself on in this one is, could I create the same look with both palettes or not? To really give you a feel for, do you really need a warm? We're going to find out. So if that interests you, stick around and we're going to dive right on in. All right, guys. So welcome if you are new here. I am Cher and I love my girl Natasha Denona. I pretty much at this point collect almost all of her eyeshadow palettes. Whenever she comes out with a new drop, I rush for it. I love her formula. I'm a Natasha Denona girl. And by the way, I also am an affiliate now, which is really exciting to me. So if you ever want to shop through her site, sorry for the shameless plug, but just, if you shop her site, you can use my code SHARETORO for 15% off. And that is how I got my palette today, was directly from her site. Because at the time there was a little snafu where Sephora had dropped the palette, and from what I'm hearing about the buzz, I don't know if this is true, this is just the rumors I'm hearing, was that they weren't really supposed to drop it yet. And so that some were sold, but it showed as sold out immediately. I think they just took it back off the market. And then on the actual launch date, then they replaced it again. And so I didn't make the Sephora one when it was a sneak peek. So I had to just go straight for my Natasha Denona website and grabbed it there. Okay, anyway, so I Need a Warm. Let's take a look at her. She is so beautiful. True to what I think is Natasha Denona, is very bronze. And this is intended to be a very bronze palette. I would argue in my own reviews, guys, I have a lot of her palettes. I feel like everything is bronze in her collection, just about, other than maybe the Xenon palette, Retro Glam, Circo, what do you call that one? Circo, I want to call it Circo Loco. I could be wrong. Anyway, there's a couple, like 2 or 3 that are cooler toned, but everything I feel like leans very bronzy with her. Even the I Need a Nude, which, this one is supposed to be the part 2 of, where it's like, oh, well, I'm truly the warm. Well, I feel like in even her nude palette, things run a little bronzy. I always call this my Peach Schnapps palette. I've done reviews on it before. I've talked about it many times in my rankings. You guys have heard me call this my Peach Schnapps. So yes, you've got kind of some neutrals that make like more like champagne colors, but there's a lot of bronzes in here too. At least she kind of came out and said, yes, this is a true warm. So this is supposed to be straight up bronze palette. Now, in the past though, she had a bronze palette, right? We have the Glam palette. I could probably show you all of these. Even her Yucca palette, which is more like greens and yellows, but there's bronzes all in there. We have the Golden palette that just came out before this one. That's very bronze too. Some bright yellows also and goldens, but truly bronze. So I feel like our Natasha loves her bronze colors. And I feel like almost everything is going to run that way. So I feel like the running question is, when are we going to get a I Need a Cool? And no, we've got a couple. I guess Xenon is probably our true cool one, but that one is just like, it runs very blue and then a little silver and black. And that was it. So I think we need some more I Need a Cools, some cool versions of all of these. That'd be my main critique in general, even though I love my Natasha Denona. One of the other things I wanted to say, I noticed in like her marketing and her swatches and all the things I saw online, I was so excited about this shade called Phenomena. Oh wow, it's showing up like burgundy on camera. That is crazy. It is straight up gold in person. Okay, when I shift up and down, let's see if you see that. Okay. Nope, you still don't see that on camera, do you? In person, when I shift, you can see a little bit, it turns kind of gold and green and goes to like burgundy if you keep watching that one right there. So it's gonna be interesting to see what it does on the eyes, but it looked like little swatches of a bunch of different colors, like shifting colors in the marketing. And so I'm particularly interested in that. We definitely don't have a color like that in the I Need a Nude that shifts that way. So we are going to play with that one for sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swatch everything, but I'll show you my swatches of this one first. We'll talk about it, but then I'm also going to swatch up the I Need a Nude next to it. And we're really going to do a little in-depth comparison. I want to also mention, I'm really working on my lighting, guys. I've had some comments about my lighting and like maybe there was a little bit of yellowy shade to it, especially when I did the YSL blushes, that you couldn't see the nuances, I guess, and some of the more subtle shade differences and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I'm not good with lights and technology. I'll just tell y'all that. So let me know. Like, I'm trying to set up box lights, extra ring lights. I have my windows open. They're across the room, but I'm at least trying to let as much natural light in as I can. So I'm going to try to see if the lighting improves. Let me know if you see any difference. I might try to go outside with my shades, with my swatches, so you can get a good feel for the swatches in the natural light. So I'm trying, guys, so just bear with me and let me know if you see any improvement or not. Okay, so let me do these swatches and I will be right back to you. All right, guys, I'm gonna put in some clips from the natural lighting outside to just give you the best feel for these swatches. And I'm also going to show them to you right here. Oh my, I gotta say, I am immediately mesmerized. I think this is so beautiful. I said that about the last one, about the golden one. I gotta say, it's her shimmers that just always get me every day. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And you've even got this like kind of, it's not a white one, but like very champagne-y one right there. I wonder how it compares with the I Need a Nude. I also love, I think that's our shifty one. You can really see the shifting there a lot better than in the pan. Look at that. Definitely the shade that stands out to me. It's the shift. So you got one shifting one. I don't think any of the others shift quite like that. These are all just so stunning. This right here is usually my color. Like, I love that in a shimmer. You definitely have these, they almost lean towards, I don't want to say orange. It's like, I feel like the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude is almost a little more peachy, and this one's almost leaning a little more orangey, maybe, is the best way I noticed, like a orangey brown. So that might be a little bit of the difference, but that is just gorgeous. What a stunner. All right, so now I'm going to swatch up the I Need a Nude, and we're going to compare them side by side on my arms. Now I'm gonna put in the swatches from outside in the nice natural light of the I Need a Nude. And we're also going to show you right here in person. So, you know, definitely you're seeing the bronzies, but it is interesting. These look a lot more brown, like true brown, and less like orangey brown than the I Need a Warm, and I'll show them side by side in just a moment. But see, we've got the peaches and pinks in here a little bit also. You do have a few that I think are probably true nude, maybe like this is. I feel like this is your true nude. This is a little bit of nude. And like, oh, now that's a little more pink toned. Really, you got like about 2 spots that are true nudes in my opinion. The others I always thought were very bronzy, like in here, kind of a peachy bronzy tint to it. So that was why I never felt like it was a true nude. I always thought it should be, I need a peach, a peach snops. I need a peach snops. But now let's compare the two together. I'm gonna show you, oops, my swatches are quite different on each arm, aren't they? They're not close together, huh? Okay. They look a lot alike, y'all. I mean, truly, you definitely have more of these orangey brownie, you know, shades. They're leaning more on that orange side, but there's some here in the middle that I think are almost exactly alike. I mean, look at that. Don't they look a lot alike? Gosh, that shimmer right there might be the exact same one. Well, maybe not. It might be a little less. I don't know. I feel like these shimmers are quite similar though. The browns right there. This one's a shimmer and that one's a matte though, but kind of same color. You got some very similar, I mean, like this part here just looks so much alike, doesn't it? The bottom part. Yeah. And even that top one right there is pretty similar even to that one. Look at that. Yeah, I think you have some major similarities, but we obviously see a little difference. More orangey brown here, more peachy and true brown, I think, right there, which I still don't consider a nude. Okay, so we've got our swatch comparisons. I need to try to figure out some looks and what we want to do with this. Okay guys, so for the first look, what I'm going to try to do is half and half of a face. So we're going to do, I need a warm on one side and I need a nude on the other. And I want to see how close I can match and if I can get a look that's the same or like so close that it's like, is this the same palette basically? So I've identified a few colors that I can compare to create kind of the same look idea. We're just going to go with a fairly simple look. We're going to start with a matte transition shade. The two colors that I think could be the closest. That's the thing is that, you know, there are differences in the mattes. Like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a true difference in which ones are mattes versus shimmers on these different colors. I'm going to try to match it as closely by going in with Mela right here on the I Need Warm. And this is a very light tan color, but it's kind of the slightest bit peachy leaning. I mean, just the teensiest bit. I think it's a little less peachy leaning than the one in the I Need a Nude. So we're going to go in and just coat, and it's barely showing up. And I'm using a fluffy brush to just kind of blend all in the transition. I'm going to try out the shade Wit over here. It looks a lot more bright, doesn't it? But that was the closest I could get that would still be kind of a matte. Let's see how it looks on this side. I need my mirror. I'm blind, so I can't see. Yeah, you can already see this, the I Need a Nude has a lot more peachy, very like peachy leaning colors. Now I'm gonna try out a fun, we're gonna do 4 different shades here to compare these to each other. The next one I'm gonna do is like a deeper color, but it's a shimmer. So like a deeper shimmer color. So I'm going in with a shade that is very similar to what I use a lot in the I Need a Nude palette. This one's called Homey. I feel like it's gonna be almost the exact same color. This is the one that I think is a true match. So usually I use this on my lid as my shimmer, but I'm gonna use it a little more on the outer corners for this one of the lid. Ooh, so pretty. Look at that. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay, whatever we want to say about it, it is gorgeous. Wow, look at that. I'm just kind of packing it a little bit, even though I have a fluffy brush. I'm just kind of diffusing it out there. That's gorgeous. Okay, can you see that? Let me try to get up close here. Okay, and then we're gonna use that middle shade Muse from the I Need a Nude. This is my #1 used color in the I Need a Nude palette. Is it the same color? Pretty spot on. Okay, so getting up close here, do you see a difference in the shimmer? I really don't, but let me, I feel like there's a difference in the formula of it though. It's a little butterier in this warm one than it is in my I Need a Nude one. Now, it may be that I have just dug into this I Need a Nude so many times, but I like the formula of it. But I feel like those are the same 2 shades pretty much. Okay, now we're gonna come in and we're gonna apply a little darker outer V corner. So over here on I Need a Warm, I'm gonna go in with that middle one right there. It's called Vern. You put a little bit on the outer corner here. Y'all, this is gorgeous. I don't know, but so far, I feel like I may like this one even better than I Need a Nude or the Golden, guys. Like, these colors are just stunning, and there's just something about them like on my skin tone at the moment. Like, this is what I'm all about right now, and I feel like it's gonna be so good for fall. Let me try to get that blended a little bit more. Let me wash this off, and we're going to compare it. Oh crap, guys, I had the wrong one. I meant to compare it to this Pep. Let me try Pep real quick and just kind of go over it. My bad. But that's so beautiful. Like, I don't even want to do Pep. Okay, here is Pep. It's just a little bit darker, and I feel like the next one we're going to compare to it is darker than that kind of medium tone, deep brown. Okay, so this is kind of what we are going to compare against. We're going to do Silhouette from the I Need a Nude. Yeah, that's a pretty similar color. You guys, I just feel like the I Need a Nude is like slightly patchier than the I Need a Warm. I feel like the formula is better in the I Need a Warm. I don't know what it is. Like, my colors are a little patchier over here on this side. Okay, I think that that dark one it's slightly darker than the other over here, but it's almost the exact match. Almost. All right, here is our look so far. Pretty close, right? I mean, that more peachy shade was in the transition, but now that we've got some darker colors, you barely see it. Okay, so now the last one we're gonna put down is one in our lid. This is called Fancy. So a little lighter. This one looks so pretty. So we are gonna put it over here on the warm side. Honestly, this is really reminding me of ColourPop Going Coconuts too. It might be a closer match to Going Coconuts than the I Need a Warm I Need a Nude even was. It reminds me so much of like exactly how that Going Coconuts blended and everything. I love that. I don't think it's gonna be an exact match, but this is the closest like light shimmer to that color, I think. And we're gonna put it down on this side. And that was called Sheen. That one's just a little warmer, like darker than the lighter one over on the warm side, but still fairly close. I'm gonna try to do my under eyes also from the same palettes that they belong to. So I'm going back in with that dark brown and I'm just lining. Probably come in with, you know, just all the same colors again, but under the eyes as well. All right, I'll line it, do a little mascara, and we will maybe touch up under the eyes. We'll come back for like a final look one for both sides of the face. So be right back. All right, guys, so here is the final look. Can you see a lot of a difference between the two? I don't see much. So in this case, the lightest shimmer here is like a little bronzier than the lightest shimmer in the I Need a Warm. So this is the I Need a Nude side. This is I Need a Warm. And then the darkest color over here on I Need a Nude is actually darker than the one over here. Theirs is just a little more brown. This one's almost, it's not quite black, but it's a very dark, dark brown. Slightest little difference. And then of course in our transition shade, it was more peachy toned on this side than on this side. But then that other shimmer that I put like kind of around here, I think that was the exact same color. Overall though, honestly, like I said before, I think that the formula is smoother, blendier, butterier than in the I Need a Nude. But this I Need a Warm so far, oh my gosh. I mean, like you can almost see it on the eyes. Look how much like softer that looks than this side. I don't know if you can pick up on that or not. But yeah, so I think I have shown we can create almost the exact same look with both palettes. But I think you're only probably gonna get like one of those looks being truly the same. I think overall the rest of it is gonna be similar, but you are gonna see a lot more orangey bronze on this side and peachier bronze and peachier but lighter bronze on this side. I think they both have a little hint of bronze. It's just this one's a little more orangey, this one's a little peachier. That is my take on it. Now what I want to do, since we've established the similarities and differences in both palettes, is I want to just create a few more looks for I Need a Warm. And we'll do them on, we're just going to focus on this palette alone now. Maybe make one or two more looks just to get a feel for it. So I'll be right back. I'm going to remove my eye makeup and we're going to start on look number 2. All right, guys, I am back. And what I really want to play with now is definitely the Shifty Shifty. We're going to do something with that girl right there and see how it shifts on the eyes. I think I'm just going to do similar again, transition color, medium. We're going to use that, I think, maybe mostly on the lid, but maybe with that really pretty, like almost light silver pop of shimmer as like our corner eye part. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the first like 4 colors over on this side. Those are the ones drawing me for this look. So I'm just going to stick with these 4 for this look. Actually, I take that back. I think I'm going to use that bottom matte color right there instead of the in-between one, just because we already used that in-between one there. And I want to try a different one. So this is called Ripe right there. We're going to use that one as our transition shade. And I need my mirror again. This is so pretty. I don't even know how to describe it. Even the mattes are beautiful and blending beautifully. I feel like this formula might be like her best yet. I love how her formula is blending on the mattes, the shimmers, like everything is so beautiful. This time we're gonna go with Soft Spot. I'm just gonna come in the corner with this one also. Make my corner V. Everything is blending gorgeous, even the darker colors. All right, here's how it's looking so far. And then for our moment of truth, I'm gonna come in with that Shifty One Phenomenon. That's like the color I wanna play with. I'm gonna do it just with my fingertips. And let me get my mirror again. I'm gonna kind of pat it at first. Let me show you on the finger. Look at that, look at it changing. Wow. Can you see it shift? I love that. Okay guys, I'm like falling so in love. And now I'm just gonna put a little pop of a shimmer in the corner. We're just gonna take Fancy right there, which it doesn't look that light in the pan, but on the swatches, it comes off almost silvery. So that's why I'm gonna try it. It's not turning out that pigmented, but it is pretty. I'm just kind of blending it up. There. Oh, that is stunning. I love the Shifty. Let's see if we can get it. I might even spray. Let me spray some fixing spray. Oh, yes. Look at that. Stunning. I need my mirror. That might be my favorite one. gorgeous. Wow. Okay, guys, this is so, this is getting very rave reviews from me. I love it. So here is look number 2. I'm going to put a little eyeliner on, like touch it up because I had to take the eyeliner off. I'll be right back. All right, here we have it. Oh my goodness. I love look 2. This is my fave. Like that shifting color right there is so fun. All right, we are going to squeeze in one more look, I think. So I'll be right back for look 3. All right, so now we're back for look number 3, and I think we'll leave it after this. You know, there's a few more fun things I could do, but I think it's kind of a lot of the same ideas. I feel like this is a little bit of a redundant palette, but like I see like maybe 3 color sets, like your lighter, medium, your darker, like tone range, you know, and then beyond that, it's just almost the same 3 looks over and over, in my opinion. I mean, so we're going to do kind of a third one I think you can do. This time I'm going to mostly work from this side of the palette. And so we're going to create a little bit darker, really bronzier look this time. I feel like the last one was pretty orange. It turned orange, but shifty. The first one was just kind of a standard, like almost neutrally, the most neutral look, you know. The second one was kind of orange. This one I want to go for a lot more bronze, like actual brownie bronze. So this time I'm going to come in with Fervor, which is a much darker, more, it's a little orangey brown, but it's fairly brown. And we're going to make that our transition this time, if I can get my mirror. Much darker, a little less orangey this time, more brown. It's already looking like, but it still all has a little bit of an orange tint, doesn't it? Little patchier than the others were, I think, but it's not that bad. It's still pretty smooth. Yeah, especially when you come back over it. Dynamism. What is that? Dynamism. So I'm going to go right on in there and start layering it down. There's my mirror. I need to take the little plastic out of it so I can see the mirror in her palette, but I hadn't gotten that far yet. And I'm just laying this down across the whole lid. That's so buttery. It looks like a little penny, doesn't it? Shiny, coppery penny across my eyes. And then I'm going to try Hanker in the middle here. It's still a shimmer, but I'm just going to play with like bringing that on the edges a little bit and see what that looks like. Melding the shimmers together some. And just kind of blend that into the other shimmer. And then I will finish it off with Flashover. It's a matte, just to kind of give it depth in the corner, just the teensiest bit. I want something in the corner though, because I don't like this in the corner. Let's see if we can pop another little lighter color in our inner corner eye. Yeah, I haven't used that yet. Elm. We're going to put Elm in the corner, even though I've already got a little bit laid down there. This has almost like a yellow tint to it. There we go. To blend a little more. But we'll get there. Okay, and a little patchy. I'm going to blend it out a little more, complete the look on both sides, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, here is our last look, a little more bronzy copper penny. And sorry, guys, I don't have a lot of extra makeup and like lashes on and all of that today. I literally have about 10 minutes to finish this up and go run get my son. And that's all I can do for the day. And I really want to get this up if I can today. So I'm not going to go like all the extra. I wanted to just give you a feel for what it looks like on the eyes. And this one gives you a little bit more of the bronzy look. This is my least favorite of the 3. I think my favorite was that second one that was a little more orange and shifting. But this gives you a feel for it too. I would say I don't recommend this shade on the lids, like covered in your lids for like mature skin, honestly. Like it started like crinkling into my fine lines a little bit on here, made it harder to blend. That's just the case with a lot of them. I would go with those lighter shimmers on the eyes in this palette. But this is probably one of your darker shimmers that you have in the palette. So like down in this range is all, these are your darker ones. So just wanted to give you a feel for the darker shades, but we also did this one, and then we did the lighter ones over here too. So that's it. So here is look number 3. All right, and then my final thoughts and everything, guys. So I did want to let you know I never looked at anybody else's reviews. I know there's several influencers that have been able to get their hands on this palette a lot quicker than I did, and they got their reviews up. I have not seen any of them, so I don't know anybody's thoughts. I didn't want to be biased. I didn't look on purpose so that I could have my own review and my own thoughts. And I do notice that the light is a weird here. I can't seem to get the light right. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, so my thoughts on it, those first couple of looks that I did, like, I'm going to be honest with y'all, this might be my new favorite palette. My new favorite Natasha Denona is, and pretty much at the top of some of my favorites of all. Because of I feel like the formula is like out of this world, but especially on these lighter ones. They are so buttery. The mattes and the shimmers are just, I don't know how to describe them, but the formula, I feel like this formula is better than in some of her other palettes. I don't know how she did it. I don't know if it's reformulated or what, but it is good. So overall, like, I am so impressed with this. I think the biggest thing is the formula. Some of the reasons it's my favorite and why I'm loving this so much is because these are the shades I've been really wanting to wear this fall. Like I said, this one's my least favorite one. I'm not as into like just a rusty coppery shade, but I love those like champagne-y, bronzy, very shimmery though. And I loved that orangey, like, and I just feel like they're flattering on me. So I think I'm reviewing it from the standpoint of like what I'm loving, how it looks on me. But if I'm reviewing it overall, I feel like formula is stellar. Where I think that there's a drawback is just, I feel like this, even more, like I've heard people talk about the Xenon being a really monotone, like one note palette. I really feel like this one's more of a one note palette than even that one. I feel like this is just very redundant, and I think you could have done a 6-pan, maybe a 9-pan, and done the job, because I don't feel like there's a huge difference in some of these shades across the board. I think there's about like 3 looks you can make. I mean, maybe 4 looks, and that's it. Whereas I think some of her other ones, there's a lot more creativity, a lot more colors. This one's just all gonna give you bronzy orange. So that'd be my only like critique on it, is probably it's just less, it feels a little more monotone to me, honestly. But for me, it's the monotones I'm loving. Like, this is going to be probably a favorite, like I said. As far as comparing it to the I Need a Nude palette, we did create one almost exact same look, I think. But, you know, I definitely do see some differences too. I think overall, you can kind of think of this one as your I Need a Peach Schnapps. And I think this one is I Need an Orange Soda. Or I Need an Orange Brown Soda. Yeah. So this one's not even, I was thinking it was going to be more bronzy brown. What I have on my eyes right now is a little more what I thought this was going to be, but this is only like one look you're going to make with it. I think overall it's just a lot more orangey, and I still feel like I Need a Nude is a lot more peachy. So that's what I think the difference is. I don't think this should have ever been named I Need a Nude. I think it should have been named I Need a Peach Schnapps, and I think this should be named I Need a Orange Bronzy. Orange bronzy. It's got to include some orange in there, y'all. I'm sorry. It's orange. All right. So that wraps it up, guys. That is my review. I'm very happy to own it. Do I think that you need it? Do I think you need a warm? I think if you don't already have some of her other palettes that are very bronze leaning, I would say that her other palettes probably are missing these orange colors though. So if you love that orange leaning, then yes, you need her warm. If you don't love the orange leaning and you just kind of want bronze, you want more like this shade, I think you're better off with one of her other palettes that's more bronzy. So that's my take. Hope you guys enjoyed this and it was helpful. Let me know if you have it or are picking it up. And make sure that you stick around because I will have another palette review coming too. This next one's coming from Jeffree Star, the Orgy 2 palette. I have my palette rankings video is coming up too for August, and I do a palette rankings video every month for all the palettes that I wear. I try to rank them, and Natasha Denona is always included in that. We do a lot of reviews here like this, do a lot of beauty boxes, unboxings, a little sprinkle of lifestyle and vlogs. So if all of that is your jam, you'll want to stick around, pop that subscribe, turn the notification bells to on so you don't miss more of it in the future, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.